It looks like we are live today. We're going to talk about how to learn online arbitrage. And this is just going to be kind of a relaxed stream today. It's going to be a lot of just answering questions, hanging out. We'll be doing some work together. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, thank you for coming. We got RW in the chat first after Seth and Cody. Good to see you, RW. Cody is a little behind on shipping today, I think. So he's been pushing the bulk really hard. So he is not available today. But yeah, we're here. It is the heart of Q4. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you. It is December 10th right now. So right in the heart of Q4, it's kind of the time of the year where the FBA warehouses are getting a little bit slow, but the stuff that you have in stock is selling really, really well. So, yeah, basically today what I've been doing is I spent some time watching the World Cup because there was a bunch of really, really good games on today. I also spent some time doing some sourcing, also spent some time applying for a credit card. Chase has a $900 offer right now for just spending $6,000, which I do all the time on inventory. So that's going to be an easy $900. And now we're on the stream. Yeah, that's FBM for you. Exactly. We got Tara in the house. Good evening. Good to see you. Good to see you. What are you guys working on? RW, are you doing a lot of shipping? Are you at work? Well, you're probably not at work. It's Saturday today. And Tara, what are you working on? I discovered this new thing that basically for using Chrome, what you can do is basically you can make it so that anytime you open up Chrome, it basically opens up a certain page for you. So you could have it open up your replenishable list every time that you open up Chrome. You could have it open up a certain site that you're trying to see if items are in stock. You could have it open up your orders to see what types of things are selling for you right now. There's a bunch of different ways that you can just use it to kind of solidify a habit. So for right now, what I'm doing is I'm having it open up Inventory Lab and my orders. That way I can kind of see what types of things are selling so I know what things to restock. We got our W shipping in my grocery items. Exactly. Yeah, I'm starting to dabble a little bit into grocery these days. I actually sent in my first cereal listing the other day. So that was exciting. They're moving pretty well. We got Tara saying, RA, just went to Walmart for a Bolo toy, and whenever they stock, I buy. Exactly. I've heard Walmart has some really good Bolo toys right now. A friend of mine was saying there was one that he was picking up for like 40, selling for 115, which is absolutely nuts. No, stay away, it's packed. Oh, yeah. So about the cereal. Just finished 2 large boxes, all replenishable. Love it. Yeah, love the replenishable stuff. The replenishable stuff is the best. But I mean, if you can find stuff on good deals, that's kind of a one-time thing. That's not the worst thing in the world either. Normal prices, no sales. Yeah, those are nice, especially if there's some kind of competitive edge there as well, like being able to get sales tax exempt or like having a credit card that gives cash back more so for that site or something. Those types of things make it even better. But I mean, the normal price is no sale. Replenishables are great. Still making 2 to 3 profit on each, I'm assuming, which is sick. All cash, no credit cards. Fair enough, fair enough. The thing that I'm liking the most is having cash behind the credit cards and then getting the rewards from the credit cards. I'm liking that quite a bit. Yeah, $2 to $3 each. Those are like great. I love those. I'm curious for everyone in the chat what your 2023 goals are. I'm still trying to think through exactly what I want mine to be. I definitely want it to be a profit goal because the sales goals are cool, but I think I care the most about the profit, you know? So I'm kind of trying to brainstorm what I want my goals to be. Retire 2023. Let's go, RW. Let's go. I mean, at some point, you kind of feel like you could just sell through your Amazon inventory and just like retire. It's not quite that good. I started using Keepa to storefront stock other stores, and that's been really profitable. That's a really, really good tip. Do you prefer that over SellerAmp? And like, what do you feel like the differences are? I think in Keepa, you can see the graphs a little bit easier, but SellerAmp gives you a little bit more information. And the thing I feel about storefront stocking is like, storefront stocking can either be really good or really bad based on like what store you're looking at. And so you have to like know what type of store you're looking at and know how to find the right type of store. Because if I just start storefront stocking some random wholesaler, like it's not going to help. But if I find a kindred spirit that's doing similar stuff to what I want to do, then it's great. RW is saying, I use both, but Keepa gives me more options, and then I use SellerAmp to refine it before I buy. What do you mean refine it? Like you take a look at the listing with SellerAmp before you purchase, basically? If so, I feel like that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, yes. You definitely have to like make sure that all the things line up, you know. Seller Amp's great for that. Oh, selling price, buy cost, ROI. Yeah, because like even with the replenishables, people say like, oh, replenishables are the best, and they like act like once you found it, there's no more work left. Like you still need to like reanalyze every single time you buy it and make sure like, do I still want to restock this? Because it's not like a once and done type deal, you know? Like it's not like you just buy replenishable and like, yep, it's replenishable. I just autopilot reorder it every 13 months, like 13 months in a row. Like you got to reanalyze it at least a little bit, like every time you repurchase it. We got Christian in the chat. Let's go. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. RW says just got ungated in Starbucks. Big money. That's probably a cook for sure. I should go ungate in Starbucks or like Burt's Bees or something. I really should ungate in Burt's Bees. That way I can just use the chapstick if any gets sent back to me because I love Burt's Bees. Definitely ask for Burt's Bees for Christmas because I love that stuff. We got Jose in the chat. Let's go. Good to see ya. RW says, yeah, I have to make sure that each item still makes money. Yeah, exactly. Because like things change. Like there's a bunch of I've noticed in the grocery category. I mean, this is probably in every category, but there's like certain items that are when people are really in stock, they're very close to break even, but then people go out of stock and then the price goes way up. So it just goes like, woo, 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 you know, and it's just like when people are in stock, the price is low. When people are out of stock, the price is high. And it kind of just keeps repeating that pattern. So it's like, maybe I should just stay in stock all the time. Burt's Bees from Frontier Co-op will get you ungated in beauty. Exactly. Yeah. And Burt's Bees. Thank you all for coming. We got a lot of people in the chat. If you guys just showed up today, we're just talking about how to do online arbitrage. Also kind of a working hangout, just hanging out together. We got our W in the chat, shipping his grocery items. For me, I am purchasing some items to sell on Amazon. Yeah, if you guys haven't liked the video as well, feel free to like the video. It helps get the word out and helps me out. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. I feel like Burt's Bees and Starbucks are both like really good brands. RW says, have you noticed that Amazon coming on the sell just after you do? I've had it happen 3 times now. There was on FBM, now Amazon is on and tanked the prices. So basically, have you noticed Amazon coming on the listing and like right after you do? I haven't had that happen as much. There was one item that I sent in that I had really high hopes for. Like I thought it was going to sell hundreds of units a month. And it was a situation where Amazon was in stock of the item at like $1. And then people were small and lighting it for like $6. And Amazon would very frequently go out of stock for short amounts of time. But then I got on the listing and they've been in stock for like 2 months. So that was frustrating. And then, yeah, I usually try to stay away if Amazon's been in stock most of the time, but that time I did not. Jose said, have you guys heard Chris Grant talking about that he knows people selling products at loss immediately, just living off the cash back because they're at such large scale? Yeah. Yeah, people do that. I mean, it would help if you sell your items at a break even, or at least at a profit. But like, I'm at like decent scale. This year I've done around 660 in sales. I haven't been as intentional as I could have been about putting everything through cashback cards. Even earlier in the year, I was using payability, which is a terrible mistake. So don't use payability. But in cashback this year so far, I've made around $7,500 in just cashback. So if you're doing a mil plus in sales and you're intentional about where you're doing your spend, very easily, you could probably live off your cashback, which is nuts. RW says, yeah, they were never on the listing. And once I shipped my stuff, they came on the listing, just tanked the listing. It seems like somebody's watching me. Oh my word. Oh my freaking word. That sucks. I am so sorry. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, there's been a couple of things that I've purchased that have just like absolutely tanked. And a couple of times it was because of Amazon. You kind of just try to minimize that as much as you can. It happens every once in a while, but like if that can happen 5% of the time, like you're going to be doing really well. What's up, Josh? Good to see you. Josh is saying, what's your favorite cashback extension for eBay to Amazon? And I feel like you probably know about this one, Josh, but I use Top Cashback. Really good cashback extension. I've found that for eBay to Amazon, it usually has like the best cashback, even over Rakuten for eBay to Amazon. So I've been using Top Cashback. Buy them out, RW. Good tip. Good tip. You got to be careful with that. Also, if anyone hasn't used Top Cashback and they want to use Top Cashback, here is a link that you can use to get Top Cashback, and it helps me out if you use the link. No pressure at all, but if you haven't used Top Cashback and you were kind of thinking about it anyways, that does help me out. RW is saying, Jose, it's like a game sometimes because Amazon is selling at a loss. Yeah, like Amazon is just like customer service. We need customer service. Like that's all they care about, which is great for us. It helps, but like sometimes they just come on and just like destroy. They just do not care. Arrowblaze says, do you report buy cost of items you had years ago that are selling used? For example, video games. Items that I had years ago. I don't really try to hold on to my items for a long amount of time. Like, are you meaning like if I had video games from like 15 years ago that I'm like, I should sell on Amazon, like reporting the buy cost of those? If that's what you mean, I don't think I sent any video games in, but I did send books in, and I just reported them as $0. But I mean, from a tax perspective, it would probably make sense too. But I did that quite a while ago. I definitely purged our house of anything that was Amazon valuable that we didn't want. Like as soon as I got on Amazon, because I'm like, I want that $700. We got Josh says, you too, buddy. Hope your weekend is off to a good start. That's what I've been using as well. Seems a little better than Rakuten. Josh has actually been doing really well with the eBay to Amazon DVDs. He's been showing me some screenshots behind the scenes. Juicy, juicy stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of money with eBay to Amazon. And he's picking it up super well, kind of a natural because he's good at OA. Got Arrow Day. I keep wanting to say your name is Arrow Days, but it's Arrow Blaze. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter too much. But you'll pay less in taxes if you have a higher buy cost. So if you can say that you purchased it at retail and then you sold it for a loss, like that's better tax wise. Not tax advice, do your own research, but probably worse for the psychological, I made this much profit, and better for the actual taxes. I definitely would only put something that's truthful in there, you know. RW says, I've bought DVDs on eBay and sold on Amazon like Steve. Not really making the money, but it still makes money, like some money. Yeah, it's kind of a matter of finding the ones that are really selling well and really discontinued, and like not a lot of people are sending in. And it takes some focus too. Like for me in my business, grocery is not very valuable, or it's not very profitable, but like I put like the smallest amount of effort into it right now because I'm used to other things, and it's probably like the same for you. Like you're probably putting most of your effort and your expertise into grocery, and then like 5-10% of your effort into DVDs. And so both of us haven't necessarily gotten over that hump of expertise, potentially, or maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure if grocery is going to click for me. I think it's good, but I also am not very good at it. Arrow Blaze is saying, I accidentally bought a counterfeit DVD set on eBay. Had to send it back home from Amazon. So how did you figure out that it was counterfeit? So you're saying that you ended up returning it to the eBay seller? Or you sent it into Amazon and then you realized it was counterfeit and then you had it sent back? Yeah, you gotta it's hard with DVDs. Like basically one thing that I try to do to stay away from counterfeit stuff in general is like if eBay sellers are selling multiple of them at like a super low price, like how many people are going to have like 6 of the same super valuable, fast moving DVD at like a third of the retail price. You know what I mean? Like if it's too good to be true like that, I'd usually just stay away from it. It's probably counterfeit. We got our W in the chat saying, since I'm ungated in most coffee makers, I've done well buying the used machines and putting them on Amazon. Doing really good on those. Yeah, you were mentioning that the other day, RW. I feel like so RW, are you selling those as like new? So basically, are you purchasing the ones that are basically like open box? If that makes sense, because thinking about it from like a customer perspective and like selling on an Amazon perspective, like if it's a coffee maker that's like been used and like there's like old coffee on it and it's like kind of slightly stained and like not the best condition, feel like that's a return waiting to happen, but maybe that's a limiting belief of mine. But I mean, selling the like new ones that are just like open box still with the wrapping on it and stuff, like probably is a cook. I'll move on so that not too much attention is on that for your sake. Jose Hernandez says, where in Thailand are you going, Seth? Yeah, so Christian and I are going to go to Thailand in late February. And basically, I grew up there for like 2 years. I lived there in 5th and 6th grade, actually. So I lived in Chiang Mai. So we're going to go to Chiang Mai. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the geography of Thailand, but basically, the southern part of it is a peninsula that goes down into the ocean. And then the northern part of it, basically in the center of Thailand is Bangkok, the capital. And then there's the southern part, the peninsula. And then about 8 hours drive up north is Chiang Mai. So that's where we're going to go. We're really looking forward to, we're going to do like a bamboo river raft trip. We're also going to go see like the big pythons and the big snakes. We're going to go ride on elephants. I think the elephants actually play soccer too, which is pretty cool. And they like do art and stuff. They have a really fun night market with like the most exotic, strange things possible in the market, which is going to be a bunch of fun. Yeah. And I just love the climate there too. It's going to be beautiful. And the people are like the reputation of Thailand is the land of smiles. People are just like super, super friendly in Thailand. It's going to be a bunch of fun. Hamda Mohammed says, hello, quick question. I'm a new Amazon seller and I want to get started with reselling used books. But the problem is when I scan almost every book, it's gated. What should I do? And can you help? Thanks. Well, Hamda, thanks for joining the live stream and way to actually get started and like you have your seller account, it sounds like, and you're trying to source. So good work. First of all, where are you sourcing these books? And what I'm curious about that first comes to mind is, are you potentially trying to source textbooks off of eBay? And so you're just gated in textbooks because with used books, most of the time, most books are ungated for everyone, but textbooks as a whole and certain brands within textbooks are gated for just about everyone. So if you're just targeting those textbooks, you should probably target other books. That would probably help. And it looks like we have 11 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you guys haven't smashed the like button, feel free to. It really helps me out. If you guys are wanting to get into eBay to Amazon, I also do have some free resources down in the description. Basically, I have a couple free items that you can just go out and look for on eBay right now that are in the description. Also a basic overview of how to do eBay to Amazon. So yeah, hopefully those are helpful. And Hamda is saying thrift stores and retail stores. Okay, so you're scanning the books at thrift stores and you're finding that most of them are gated. I would be curious, chat, do you guys happen to know if have any ideas about this question, because as far as I know, when I've done books, when other people have done books, almost all the time people are ungated in just about everything besides textbooks. But I'm curious if you guys have any thoughts. I know most of the time they should be ungated. But I sometimes hear people having this issue. So, yeah, wish I could help a little bit more, but I'm not quite sure here. And do you want to, can you confirm that you're trying to sell them used and not new, like Jose is saying? Because that's a good point. Because sometimes you can be gated from selling them new, but then used, you can actually sell them. RW is saying, yes, like new, but I test them and clean them. Not always open box. If the items are worth good money, it's worth the time to clean them. Yeah. Now, that's cool that you found that little niche of coffee makers. I mean, people pay good money for coffee makers. So I could definitely understand that used ones would go for a lot of money. Because like, let's think about this. If you want a high-end coffee maker, let's say it's going to be $400 new. Like, there are plenty of people out there who would pay $250 for that used coffee maker, as long as it works and it has all the parts. Like, they'll do that. They'll take that $150 discount. But like the guy you got it from on eBay got it at a yard sale for $15. So he's willing to chuck it for $100 on eBay. RW is saying, Hamda, try eBay better prices than thrift stores, and try cooking books. Yeah, I mean, eBay has a lot of books. I mean, they're just about always in stock on almost everything. And cooking books you shouldn't be gated in. Let's try this. I'm going to go grab a book that I think you should be ungated in, and I'm going to put the ISBN in the chat, Hamda, and you can see if you're gated in that. I'll be right back, chat. All right, I have a book here. It's a counseling book from back when I was in school. I'm going to type the ISBN in the chat, and then I'll get to everyone else's questions in a second. Hamda, see if you are ungated in this one that I just posted here. And I'm going to confirm real quick that I'm ungated in it. Yeah, so there's one of these. I don't know if you can see the chat. There's one that's restricted, and there's one that is not restricted. So let me know what you find there. RW is saying McGraw-Hill is the only one I've ever had an issue with. Yeah, McGraw-Hill it's kind of one of those textbook brands that they just really don't want you selling their stuff. Jose Hernandez says, were your parents missionaries, Seth? That's why you lived in Thailand, if you don't mind me asking? Yeah, exactly. My parents, basically what my dad does is he basically helps pastors in countries like China, Myanmar, just other Asian countries in that area. And basically he helps them lead their churches better. Like, he trains them basically. So Thailand was a better place, instead of, like taking a plane from the United States to those countries several times a year. It was better to just live in Thailand. So that's what we did for 2 years. Or at least that's what my dad did. I was just a kid playing soccer. RW said, just sold and bought a Breville espresso machine for $65 on eBay and sold for $285. That is sick. So, wow. So that was over 100% ROI, huh? Because like after fees, you probably still netted like 210 probably. Yeah, that's absolutely wild. That's hand over fist. That's worth cleaning it. Has your return rate been pretty good with that RW? Like, do you ever go into inventory lab and I can show you guys real quick. Actually, I can't because it'll show all the ASINs. But basically, in inventory lab, you can go to you sign in, you go to reports, and you go to ASIN profitability, and then from there, you can basically check after all fees, after it's sold, after everything's said and done, after all returns, what your profitability per ASIN is, which is super, super helpful. Bro, you got 205 back? Oh, that's juicy. That's so good. Makes me so excited for you. All right, so 205 minus 65. He just made a ton of money, $140 selling eBay to Amazon, which is absolutely nuts. And like, there's so many flips out there like that. I'm so excited for you, RW. If other people are curious about doing eBay to Amazon, you don't have to steal his idea. There's a ton of other ideas down in the description below that you can get for free. I mean, honestly, though, there's probably like 100 different variations of model numbers of even just that brand of espresso machine, which is nuts. RW is saying, I don't use inventory lab spreadsheet. Oh, yeah. You were talking about that the other day. You like to do accounting, but you're not an accountant. Exactly. Dude, that's such good profit. That makes your accounting a little bit easier. Love that. RW with the moats around his products too. We love that. It's okay. They need to get ungated and it's not easy. Let's go. That's the way to do it. So guys, if you want to be profitable on something, oh shoot, I didn't see your chat. I'll get back to this point in a second. So Hamda is saying it's gated. I checked. So you checked all the listings for it and you were gated in all of them and unused. Yeah, gated unused. I'm curious about this. I'm going to see if I can Google it and get any answers. And I'm going to screen share it. Why am I ungated in gated books, Amazon FBA? I mean, to be honest, like if you look and see, like, are you gated because it says like you're gated in the category of books? So if you're gated in the category of books, I mean, you could just go to like, what is this? You could go to like christianbook.com and just buy 10 books. christianbook.com. So basically what you do to get ungated, I'll just go ahead and show you. And Jose, thank you. Like, it is so much fun living in Thailand. It was a cool place. Like really a bunch of fun. But let's see if we can find an ungate on christianbook.com real quick. So we could go to clearance. That way we don't have to spend a ton of money on it. So I mean, most of these are books, I think. But the thing is we just basically have to find one of these that they have 10 in stock and also has an Amazon ASIN. So basically what you would have to do is just go through all of these and see if you can find the exact same thing on Amazon. So like, let's see this one, for example. It'd be really nice if they had a UPC, but we could just do this. So cut and paste the title, Amazon. All right, so it looks like we have a match already, which is great. So basically, do they have 10? They have 10. So I'm curious, Hamda, are you gated in this product here? I'll go ahead and send you this Amazon link. Oh shoot, I'm not sharing the screen. All right, so I'm going to share the screen now. Sorry about that. So basically what I did, christianbook.com, we went to clearance, and then I just tried this book right here. I cut and pasted the title, and it's on Amazon. So basically, if you see that you're also gated in this one, Hamda, just go ahead and you could try purchasing 10 of these. And then once you get that package in the mail, you're going to have an invoice in the box. You take a picture of that invoice and you will upload it to Amazon where they say that you're gated. It's not going to be profitable. You'll lose a little bit of money on this, but I mean, spending $40 to get ungated in books is worth it for sure. So I'll go ahead and put this in the chat here. This is the Amazon link, and this is the source link. We got Joji in the chat. Yo, good to see you. Thank you for telling me about the Chase card. Actually, I went ahead and applied today. So hopefully you get paid very soon when I get accepted. And I get my $900. Yeah, you could also get ungated in McGraw Hill as well. But I mean, I just found this one real quick. We got the old rider in the chat. I sent a book into Amazon that they said okay, only to find out when it landed that it was brand and genre restricted. Bummer. Yeah, I feel like there's a percentage of the time that like everything lines up, it should work, and then you send it in and like something goes wrong with it. It just happens sometimes, unfortunately. Not my favorite thing. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, you're welcome. Hopefully that helps. It's a bummer being gated and stuff. It's really annoying. We got Joji. Let's go. Yeah, exactly. Let's get that $900. Like, why not make free money? We got 9 people in the chat right now. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you guys haven't sourced books, eBay to Amazon, Joji is really good at sourcing books in particular. So he has a YouTube channel kind of discussing how to actually do that. So if you're interested in doing specifically books, Joji is a good place to go. That card is great. The 0% annual fee is amazing considering the sign up bonus. Yeah, exactly. I have both the Ink Cash and the Ink Business. Gonna get the Ink Preferred next. Appreciate the shout out, man. You're welcome, man. Yeah, like I probably haven't taken enough advantage of credit card churning. I really could. I mean, there's no reason not to with business credit. I don't even think there's a 524 with business cards. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong, but what did I get? I think it was the Ink Business. I don't know. The Chase cards confuse the heck out of me because like they're all like different variations of the same thing, I feel like. I can check what I got. Basically, the reason I wanted it is because it was 0% APR and it had a $900 sign up bonus. Let's see if I can find it again. It was the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited. The Chase Inc. Business Unlimited. So, do you guys understand why I'm confused as heck about the names and trying to distinguish between them? Looking at all these cards, Chase Inc. Business Unlimited, Chase Inc. Business Cash, Chase Inc. Business Preferred. Like they're all so similar of names. They're very confusing. Oh yeah, my Instagram. But got RW saying you should try just using cash, no credit cards. Yeah, that's a good point. What's the biggest reason you feel like I should just use cash besides credit cards? For me, right now, my business is at a point where I need a couple extra $1,000 to put into bulk items, and getting that sign up bonus will be very helpful. So that's what I'm going to do at this point. Joji's saying correct. The business cards don't apply to 524, although you won't get approved if you're already at 524. Oh, I see. That makes sense. The unlimited and the cash. Yeah, so I mean, I'm not exactly sure if I am at the 524 or not. I might not be able to get approved then, unfortunately. But RW, a majority of my business, probably, I think 80% at this point is cash. So I'm not leveraged super hard. It took a lot of discipline at Q4 not to leverage super hard, but definitely feeling pretty safe right now. So the 524 rule is basically a rule with Chase in particular. They basically want applicants who have not applied for a ton of credit recently. And so the 524 rule basically means you can have a max of 5 credit cards that you've applied for in the last 24 months. So if you've done 6 in the last 24 months, then they will deny you. Yeah, Juju's saying you can only apply for 5 credit cards in the past 24 months, or else you'll get auto denied by Chase. RW says, I'm in the business of collecting on people that don't pay their bills, and too much history on why you shouldn't. But if you can keep it under control, you're good. Yeah. I mean, it's a massive business, and actually that business does very well, which a lot of people do not pay their credit cards. So you have to be extremely careful and very responsible with it. It's a very, very fine line. And a common misnomer too in the Amazon space is people think, oh, I have business credit. If Amazon suspends me, I can just bankrupt and clear that debt. That's almost never how it works. Those cards are personally guaranteed, not financial advice. Do your own research on this, but if they're personally guaranteed, like you're still on the hook. So if Amazon suspends you with your inventory, like GG, as blunt as that. So don't put yourself in that position where that's going to be an impossible problem, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's a very fine line. And also you could run on credit when you don't have the skills to like actually make money. And like it's very easy to have things go wrong. Debit buying and collecting is my main job and is very profitable. Now you know what I do full time. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people not paying their cards, that's for sure. A ton of people. Joji is saying, yes, I wouldn't recommend credit cards to the average person. There's a reason why the sign-up bonus exists. Yeah, exactly. And it's a really hard one too, Joji, because like I know you and I are like we're actually doing like pretty well financially. I think you're doing really well financially with like saving and stuff. But I think that like the idea of like I have to be smarter than the credit card. Like there are a lot of people who probably think they're smarter than the credit card and like actually they're not smarter than the credit card. Like probably more people than we'd realize. Not saying that either one of us are in that boat, but yeah, there's probably a ton of people who think they're smarter than the credit card companies and they're really just losing out on money. Like honestly, for me, it's probably possible that I purchase inventory that is slightly lower ROI than necessary and accept expenses in my business that aren't exactly necessary or like could be done without because of a credit card. That's debatable for sure, which is a hard one. Recently, I've been trying to like only buy like the best stuff. Like if I can do the same amount of profit with like 20% less inventory costs, that would be great. That would be absolutely great. We got 10 people in the chat now. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you guys haven't, if you guys are wanting to source eBay to Amazon, if you guys have ever been curious about that, I do have a free resource down in the description that basically goes over the basics of that. And then I also do have a resource where it gives the like 5 items that you could source right now from eBay to Amazon. So that's down in the description. You can check it out if you want to. We got our RW in the chat saying, Seth, you're on the West Coast. I'm actually not on the West Coast. I'm in Mountain Standard Time. So I think you're on the West Coast, aren't you? Like you're in California or Oregon or something. I feel like usually I do the live streams later in the day and you're like, it's like 1 or 2 p.m. there. But I'm in Mountain Standard Time. Definitely a good point. Yeah, I mean, I think it's helpful to be critically thinking about it, that's for sure. Watch his video. It will help you. Which video are you talking about? Yeah, California. Are you in the southern or the northern part of Colorado or of California? As a kid, I lived in Sacramento for a couple years as a young kid. Oh, I appreciate that. The video on eBay to Amazon. I appreciate that. Thank you, RW. Yeah, I was trying to make it like as brief as possible so that like people get the most information out of it, but they're not like having to sit there for like 3 hours to like learn something. I wanted it to be like to the point and brief. Joji is saying, how's sourcing been, Seth? Still going with the same margins? Sourcing has been pretty good recently. Like I found the other day, like the most high ticket, high margin thing. It was absolutely insane. It was just like it was a fluke thing. And the thing sells for like $1,800. I've actually sold it once before and I was able to get it for $660. The guy had it listed for $1,000. I sent him an offer for $550 and he counter offered $660. And I was like, yes, I will 100% do that. I think it was, let me look up what the payout on that is. So if I sell it for 1880, I get back, or it was 1800, not 1880. If I sell it for 1800, I get back 1514. So that's a profit of $854. Absolutely insane. Very happy to see that. That's going to be my biggest profit flip ever, I think. It was a used very good. Basically, it was an item that it had the case, it had all the parts. I've sold it once before. Like the person's going to get like a $600 discount because it's used. So yeah, it was a used item. RW is close to San Francisco. Heck yeah. So that's southern. I went to San Francisco one time. It was actually like a decently cold place for California. Even a seasoned eBay person like me or you can always learn a new trick to get better results. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There's literally so much to learn. It's actually nuts. Like maybe we know a lot about the niches that we're in, but like there's still more to learn even in those niches. And then there's 100 other niches. Joji is saying someone in my apartment complex gave away an unused 3D printer. Sold it same day for $115 on eBay. I don't understand some people. Dude, that's nuts. I love that stuff. I think the first free thing that I got was when I was selling on Depop back in like 2019. and our laundry room had a little section in it, like it was an apartment laundry room where you could just put your stuff that you wanted to give away and people could come pick it up. And someone put this like Air Force college hockey jersey, and I sold it for $45. I was so happy at the time. I'm curious. I wonder if 3D printers. I've never actually looked this up, so I'm gonna look it up right now. Actually, on screen here. I'm curious if you can sell 3D printers on Amazon. Amazon. $1,000. Why is my Keepa not showing up? Oh, because they're sponsored. That's dumb. Ooh, some 3D printers. Oh, geez. Might be sourcing some of these. Interesting from the Keepa. It looks like there's not a ton of used sellers. Requires approval. I'd have to go check on my Amazon if I could get approved. Oh, there's only 2 people on the listing. That's an IP issue sign. Yeah, and you see in this bottom section here that when it's like this and it's almost always 1 or maybe 2 max, like people just get kicked off of these listings ASAP. But there's probably other types. Yeah, maybe it was one of these, like something like that, Joji, that like you can't really sell on Amazon. There's so many different types. Printer 3D, that's their name. Can other people sell these or just you? Just you. So, I mean, if you wanted to sell 3D printers on Amazon, you'd have to find the ones that are not private label. It'd be doable. You'd have to do some research though. Yeah, this is the brand. That's a no-go. Oops. But yep. Hamda is saying, so when I'm trying to get ungated, anything, should I buy the 10 gated ones in 10 items, then send them to Amazon? I mean, like anything, toys, books, anything. The main thing is that, what is it? So the main thing with ungating, you want to make sure that what you're purchasing matches something on Amazon, you know? So it needs to match Amazon. And then when you purchase it, you need to make sure that you're getting an invoice, and then you upload that invoice. So, I mean, you basically do that with every ungate. Yeah. Joji, people want to put it in the work. Exactly. I didn't want to risk selling on Amazon at retail for $250, but it was dead stock. It was an older model. Oh, I see. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, a lot of those were private label ones. RW saying, Hamda, just try a lot of different stuff and see what will make you the most money. I made great money selling women products, not makeup. If you can sell it, then list it. Yeah, exactly. You got to find the categories that you're ungated in. So maybe try selling those, but definitely try to get your ungates in books. I'm guessing maybe more recently they've started gating people in books. Something different is happening. We got FBA Sage Emery. What's up, man? How you been? Good to see you, Sage. Good to see you. Doing pretty good. Very, very busy, but doing good. How are you doing, Emery? Creating a new listing is a pain. Yeah, exactly. So I always just sell on the existing ones, you know. I think you do as well. FBA Sage is saying, not too shabby. Getting a shipment out Q4 has been crazy. Yeah, exactly. How have sales been, Sage? In Sage, someone was talking about tanked items earlier in the stream, and there was one item that we both talked about that tanked quite a bit, unfortunately. So hopefully you didn't have too many of those. It was used at like 170. Now the used is at I think the used is around $100 now. So it tanked quite a bit. That was like one example. It was just like it was a really low ranked, fast moving electronic. And so Amazon had history of being in stock. And so they were out of stock for like regularly for several months, but then they came back in stock pretty hard and the price came down. So I'm hoping you didn't have too many of those, Sage. You probably know what I'm talking about. You can DM me afterwards if you want, but yeah, I think I made enough ROI on the front side that even though I sold some at a loss, the total was still like a decent ROI. It just was a bummer they were selling so fast. FBA Sage is saying sales have been up, but to be honest, I've been slacking on FBM. Guessing you're talking about the docking station. Yup. Rest in peace. But I would definitely I have that ASIN in a part of my replenishable sheet that I'll check every couple months to see if it ever gets better. Because that was a really good opportunity. And it's possible Amazon does go completely out of stock at some point. Because just because it's low now doesn't mean that it will be low forever. So definitely keep tabs on that. Docking stations are money. Yeah, they are. There's so many model numbers too. So many brands, so many model numbers. They are money. RIP, yeah, such a good ASIN. Exactly. RW is saying, Seth, how is your return rate? I've only had one so far, which is not sure why it was just the push button and wait for the coffee. Yeah, so full transparency, my return rate earlier this year was exorbitant. It was 30% plus because there was a period of time for several months where I was literally selling items like docking stations that didn't have all of the adapters and cords necessarily to use the item, and I was selling them as use acceptable. And so in my brain I was like, it's use acceptable, I'm selling it for cheaper than everyone else, this should be fine. But I did that for several months and I had so many returns. Customers did not like that, so I don't do that anymore, that's for sure. And I've also transitioned to doing a much higher percentage of new items, just items that are in the package, completely ready to go, not going to have customer issues. and my return rate has been much, much, much lower since then. Oh yeah, the ones you're probably mentioning the docking stations. I mean, the docking stations without cords, I was obviously selling as used. That would be ballsy to sell those as new. To sell like a used docking station without cords is new. That is ballsy. But the docking stations, I mean, I've sold some used, I've sold some new. If they're completely new and sealed, I'll sell them as new. But the ones without cords, 100% used acceptable. And I wouldn't, I would not, like, I literally purged my inventory of all those because like those are counterfeit claims waiting to happen, selling those without cords. Like it just takes like 1 out of 100 customers to just be like, screw this guy, I can't use my docking station today. And then rip, you're in the yellow. GG. Very blunt there, but yeah, and usually cheap to ship. Yeah. Like they're just like these little things. Like they're not hard to ship. They're super light too. I mean, sometimes they weigh over a pound, but I was FBAing them. If you merge with a field, that probably also works really well too. Super easy to ship too. RW says, if not complete, I stay away unless I can find all the parts to complete the item and still make money. Yeah, I mean, that's actually a great opportunity because, like, I was talking about how selling used acceptable without cords was a bad idea. But the thing is like on eBay, those types of items are like super cheap because the eBay seller's like, well, this thing's not complete. I'm going to sell it for like half off. I just want to liquidate this thing. But like oftentimes, like for the docking station, a lot of the docking stations, the adapters are really expensive, but sometimes they're not. So if you can literally just buy like a $10 USB cord and a $15 adapter, and then it's complete and the customer can use it. And you got the docking station for like $70 under what it should be. Some good opportunity there. Like coffee stations. There's probably ways to do that with those too. No more calculators, Seth? That's a good question. I do some calculators still. I sent in a bunch of some Texas Instruments calculators for January because I think those are going to be really good for back to school in January. And whenever I thrift, I always find calculators. Like those Sharp calculators are really good if you're thrifting. I mean, some of those are eBay to Amazonable as well. Ever sold Japanese DVDs? I have not. And I'm assuming you haven't because you like to stay with the United States ones. But there are probably some expensive Japanese DVDs. There's a lot of expensive Japanese stuff. Good to have you raking. We got Sage saying, what's your plans for 2023? Plan on sticking with OA and scaling or changing things, maybe wholesale? Wholesale is really good for your Amazon account, and it's a great business model, but I just have very little interest in wholesale. So I'm probably not going to do wholesale. The plan is to stick with OA. Basically, the plan right now is to continue with online arbitrage, eBay to Amazon. I'm probably going to also mix in a little bit of regular online arbitrage for some volume as well. Basically looking to probably do anywhere between 40 and 70K a month every single month in 2023. That's the plan. Yeah. Spanish DVDs have always been good to me. Yeah, I mean, like the stuff that's just like a little harder to get, a little bit more niche is going to be really, really good. Anime DVDs are sometimes big money. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, it's always those weird niche things that do well. And you got to be sure that like there's a balance between like purchasing from out of the country and purchasing something that's like anime or Japanese. Like, like if someone's selling it for like a third of retail and they have 6 of them, like it's probably counterfeit. Don't buy it. You definitely don't want to be purchasing stuff that's counterfeit. That's not a good way to run things. But there's like a ton of legit ones that are anime DVDs that you can make really good money on. There are some high priced DVDs out there. I saw some like $200 DVDs the other day, which is nuts. We got our W in the chat saying, I'm hoping for 90K plus in 2023, but we'll see. That will be a big expense to get to that level. Yeah. I think you can do it though. So if you're doing 90K in a year, that would be about 7,500 a month. So yeah, I think you can definitely get that done. Or are you meaning per month? 90K plus a month would be a lot of money, but very doable too. Would definitely have to be building out some solid systems at 90K plus a month. I'm definitely not wanting to leverage up to 90K plus a month. Oh, per month. I see. That would be sick. I know for me, I would have to leverage to do 90K plus a month at this point. I just am not using enough capital to do 90K plus a month. Sheesh, let's go, man. Yeah, exactly. That's really good. Yeah, my goal for this year was 500K in sales. So 500K in sales over a year is 41 grand a month. And I did 660 so far. So kind of crushed my goal. I did not make it to 1 million, but did my 500K in sales. Hopefully I can improve on this year, next year. I think I will. I made so many mistakes this year, to be completely honest. I did a bunch of things like that slowed down the progress a lot, but it was kind of the first big year of profits this year. So pretty happy with how it's gone so far. Like I used payability for like 3 months. They took so much profit. Ridiculousness. 1 million easy next year, man. 100%. Yeah, dude, we can definitely make a lot of money next year. Cause like we've done this whole year and like we've done well so far, but like we don't have to make the same mistakes as we did last year, next year. Jose is saying, how fast would you say you're turning your products, Seth? So I'm basically purchasing stuff in efforts to sell within 2 to 3 weeks. But there are times where I go a little too deep on stuff and it ends up taking up to 2 months sometimes. So oftentimes I buy too little of stuff and I just sell out way too quick. And I should have bought more. But then there's other times where I make a mistake and it ends up being like a month or two. So I really want to purchase and sell my stuff quickly. I don't want to be holding on to stuff. I do break this rule though. If it's like, let's say I'm shooting for like 40% ROI and I find like this random like 90, 100%, 110% ROI item, but it's going to take 2 or 3 months, I'll sometimes do that. If it's 3 months, it would have to be bigger ROI. Joji is saying, trying to break 100K this year at 97K currently. Dude, you're so close. You can do it. Your profit margin is probably really good on that, though. And you're part-time, which is sick. I mean, if you hit your 50K January, you'll be halfway there for next year in 1 month. RW is saying mistakes are how you learn, not what to do. Exactly. Yep. Because like, how was I supposed to know about all these things? Like they seemed like the right choices at the time, but you know, it's kind of my first year in like full-time Amazon business. Like I started Amazon in late 2021. So 2022 was the first year that I did complete Amazon. Like in 2021, I was still in school. I know, right? Next year goal is 150K. Exactly. Love that. So I'm assuming you're probably going to try to do 50K both in January and August, Joji, for textbook season. Is that the plan? And then between the rest of the year, do another 50K, something like that. Is it after 90 days when a product affects your IPI? Yeah, so IPI is it's several different things. Basically, all of it is a spectrum. They basically measure for IPI your excess inventory, your sell-through rate, your stranded inventory, and your in-stock inventory. And your excess inventory, sell-through, and stranded inventory is the biggest effector of all this. So the best things to do to improve your IPI is make sure that you're dealing with your stranded inventory. Just like deal with it when it comes up. Improving your sell-through rate is going to help. So it's not really like a 90-day in particular. It's just like how fast are you selling through your stuff? And having like a lot of excess inventory is going to lower your IPI. So for me currently, I'm actually in the right in between the light green and the solid green in excess inventory. My sell-through rate is in the yellow. It's saying FBA sell-through rate 1.6. So that's like pretty good. I know the whole time I did books, it was in the red. My stranded inventory, I haven't paid enough attention to that, so I'm barely in the red there. And my in-stock inventory is also in the red, and I have a IPI of 535. So, I mean, IPI doesn't matter that much unless you're having issues with your restock limits, which I do enough high ASP stuff that I don't have too many issues with that. RW says, yeah, at that amount, I'll be leaving my full-time job and Amazon 100% of the time. Yeah, that would be nuts. So margin-wise, 90K at a 10% ROI, that's $9,000 profit a month. At a 15% ROI, that's $13,500. And at a 20% ROI, that's 18 grand. So a lot of money to be made. Joji's saying yes, correct. Yes, that would be sick. I feel like textbook season is just such a big opportunity for books. Auto return, Josie, on the old items so it does not hit your IPI issues. Yeah, exactly. We got a lot of people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for showing up. A lot of good questions today, a lot of good interactions. Thank you for joining, guys, on a Saturday night too. I was kind of curious how this was even going to go, but I guess a lot of people are just hanging out, chilling at the crib, just hanging out. Joji's got a peace out. Always a pleasure. Good to see you, Joji. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, it's freezing outside. It is super cold. I mean, today actually though, it was like 50 degrees high. But like now that it's dark, it's probably cold. RW is saying I'm sitting at an average of 35% to 60%. So crazy numbers. That's really good. Yeah, super good margin there. Yeah, great margin. Definitely selling stuff that actually sells and like has good ROI, which is super important. Where's Cody? LOL. Good question, Jose. He was super busy today. He was kind of feeling swamped with stuff. So we'll be back Monday, I think. We're probably going to start alternating. We'll do his channel one day and then do my channel another day, kind of just switch it up a little bit. Jose is saying, are you selling all new items or used items as well from eBay, RW? It's a good question. I think he's doing mostly used, it sounds like. RW is saying, Jose, used items, but my main thing is grocery. RW, with grocery, you're just sending in really high ROI stuff. Because I guess when I think of grocery, I think of like very low returns, but also pretty low ROI. Or you're just picking the listings where there's good ROI, if that makes sense. Curious your strategy on that. Oh no. He does like used coffee makers. Used grocery. Here's a bag of chips. It's opened. I only ate a couple. RW says, I stay above 30% ROI. Not used food. Dude, I'd buy a used like new bag of chips any day. That'd be very silly. You probably do a lot of multi-packs. Probably both. I have a sealer, so maybe who knows? Could be a market. Just reseal used groceries. Oh gosh. That would be a bad life choice, I think. See if I can get ungated in Butterfinger. I got ungated in Butterfinger. Maybe I should sell some Butterfinger. Amazon's on the listing. I'm just randomly looking up grocery items. I'll show it real quick. I just came across this like Butterfinger listing. An 18-pack of Butterfinger. It'd probably be a great stocking stuffer. Amazon's on the listing though. $7K in grocery. Amazon's always on it. I wonder if they buy box share. I mean, other people are getting the buy box sometimes. Offers a lot of sales, mostly Amazon though. Some people are getting sales, but not a ton. Some though. Anyways. Multi-packs can be money, but I don't know if you got affected with the GTIN issue. Yeah, that's a problem, right? For my used items, I didn't have too big of a problem with that. Yeah, both bundles are great. Candy is meltable and you need to FBM chocolate. Yeah, I probably should. It's true. What's a local store where you live, Seth, to see if I can find a lead? I don't really do RA hardly ever. I appreciate that. I'm in Colorado though. Never had an issue with GTIN. I feel like maybe that could be an issue with multi-packs, but not always though. We got a few more people in here. Thank you guys so much for showing up. It's been a good around an hour and a half, a lot of interaction, a lot of good questions, a lot of really good advice. I think I'm going to head out, guys, but thank you guys so much for showing up. If you guys are curious about eBay to Amazon, I do have some resources down in the description that can be helpful, some of your first items that you could be purchasing, and an overview of what and how to do eBay to Amazon down in the description. But yeah, thank you guys so much for showing up and hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Take care.